Welcome to the Bumblecast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello. We're here for more Bumblecast. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say or talk about or do. I just say that we're here and it's time for Bumblecast.
Now, that's not fair, because you do read all the questions that come from our patrons over at patreon.com/Bumblecast, Ko-fi.com/Bumblecast, and our YouTube members.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true. I do read them, but...
That's plenty to do. What are you talking about?
I mean...
have a mission in life, sir, and that is to question me publicly, repeatedly.
Okay, fine. Then I'm going to start doing it right now, and you're going to like it? Or at least tolerate it. All right. Well, let's start off with none other than Allison S. to start out. My second work softball season is wrapping up today. Have either of you played sports as an adult? I'm not very athletic, but it's been fun, and everyone on the team is encouraging.
I am glad you've had a positive experience. Good luck in the end of your season. As for me, going outside, physical exertion in the elements? No.
I mean, we don't really have a company with which to do sports,
That's true.
as a sort of thing where, a team building exercise. It's just me and you, buddy. That's it. Yeah, I'm kidding. But
she's asking as an adult. There's intramural teams. There's club teams out there.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I've never done that. Never have.
I got my fill back in grade school. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've had enough. I mean, it's enough effort just to do this show. A Lowland Figment has a question. A decree from above. Sonic Jam for the Gamecom is now to be considered canon. What are the lore implications of this bombshell?
You know what? I'm going to take the cheap answer and say nightmare sequence. Doesn't actually happen, but we can acknowledge it. And canonically, it was a nightmare. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, done.
Boom. Well, okay. So let's look at what Sonic Jam was. It's basically like Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles. It's a zone from each.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even really a full game. And really, it's just rehashing stuff that's already happened anyway. So
yes, but it's ugly as sin as it plays terribly. Therefore, you give it the nightmare sequence treatment.
Oh yeah. I guess if you had to adapt it in some way and say like this is Sonic Jam from the Gamecom, there's nothing you can do about it. This is what it is. Then I guess that would be the way to adapt it, but. I mean, otherwise you could just say you already did, because we've already had Emerald Hill, Angel Island, and Mushroom Hill in games. Like, what do you need any more for? Question from Ann Tails. Who'd win in an Olympic volleyball match? Virtua Striker 2's Bean the Dynamite or Rouge the Bat from that one Pakistani McDonald's commercial?
You got me there.
Whoever wins, we lose.
I mean, how does one truly quantify such creatures?
Well, I mean, Bean is just Bean. He's just huge.
And he's a terrifying creature in his own right. What do you want from me?
I mean, it's just Bean. He's all right. He's fine.
It's a miracle the volleyball doesn't explode and you know it.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
He's very disappointed to understand it's the wrong kind of volley.
Yeah, it's not that kind. Sorry, buddy. I don't know how he got so dang big.
Maybe he did a fusion dance with Bark.
Oh, okay. So he just looks like Bean, but he's huge.
The combined mass gives him a giant size, but also the temperament to actually play a sport instead of bomb people.
Makes sense to me, I guess. Question from Andrew D. You now have unlimited access to any and all content from every Sonic media to use however you see fit as a writer on the Sonic comic. In this hypothetical scenario, did Sega buy everything? Are all the licensors playing ball? Who knows? That's beside the point. All that matters is that you can now use anything from any Sonic media and you can write it however you see fit. What things do you want to see and what are your priorities? And Kyle, what do you, as a reader, want to see?
I feel like we've done something like this
Oh, I'm sure we have.
not too long ago. But if I was given executive command of the full Sonic media library, I'd start over.
Yeah.
You've
said this before. Yeah.
You cannot coherently fold all of it together. So start over from scratch. Look at what's there. Look at what's worth using, and bring it all within a new brand of Sonic that makes sense to work together.
I'm seeing some worries that you'd get rid of Lost Hex, but I don't think so.
You guys don't know me at all.
No, you don't. I was going to say, you'd literally use every single piece of anything you possibly could. And also people are also saying, that why would you start with scratch when Grounders are there?
Hey!
Yeah.
But what would you want to see, Kyle?
What would I want to see? I mean, everything, honestly. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I don't want to see, like, whatever the listener's favorite thing is. Like, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy and say, you know what? I don't want to see anything that you like. If there's something you really like about Sonic, I don't want to see it. Yeah, I don't want to see, like, I don't know, the Monkey Destruction Switch. Never want to see that again. I'm kidding, by the way.
Joining me as always is my Bumble contrarian, Kyle. JCRB hates you.
I really don't. I'm kidding. I do want to see the Monkey Destruction Switch, actually. I want to see Sonic Schoolhouse become canon. I want to see, let me see, what else do I want to see? I want to see, like, a lot of the old school RG elements. I'd love to see a lot of those again. You know, I think you can bring those in and have a nice coexistence of the new and the old. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff I like. I like old Sonic stuff. I like new Sonic stuff. I mean, why can't we have it all? I'm like you, Ian. I want to play with all the toys. I want the toys. I mean, maybe not Chris Thorndike, but that's a me thing. That's a personal thing.
Look, the Black Arms have to eat somebody when they invade for it to have an effect.
Well, I mean, sure, that works.
And then they all die of food poisoning.
No! No! Ow! Ow! Yeah, that's where I leave that one. And here's a question from Mark Beetle. Blaze is a cat and she has fire powers. So when she emerges from the swimming pool, does she become a hot, wet?
So, Kyle, you're going to bleep that out in post.
Bold assumption.
No, that's an executive order from the head of the Bumblecast here.
Yeah, don't worry.
Because I'm actually really getting tired of these let's bait Ian into an awkward situation, quote unquote, questions. The funny has worn off long ago. Stop it, please.
Aura has a question. During the preview of Dark Beginnings at Anime Expo, it was fun to hear the audience explode with joy upon hearing the phrase, "We got this great script" by Ian Flynn. Do you consider yourself the type of person who gets energy and inspiration from that amount of faith in your work, or do you get anxious over whether you'll be able to meet your fans' expectations?
Both.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. And it gave me flashbacks to the IDW announcement panel where they asked me to do a little video to say I'm coming back, and the reaction to that room was, words fail me. It's one thing to know that people enjoy your work. Like I get kind of flustered when folks come up to me in a show and, you know, just one table length across, or table width, I guess, you know, really enjoy your work, loved it as a kid, yada yada. And it's like, thank you very much. I'm struggling to handle this compliment, but I'm glad you're happy. To have an entire room scream and cheer at the mention of your name defies contemplation. I can't process it. I'm not that important of a person. And
don't lie. You totally are.
Like,
you're important to us, Ian Flynn.
I'm glad, but temper your expectations. I am very thankful to be held in such high regard. I do not want to sound ungrateful, but at the same time, it's how do you even process that, man? Like, it's one thing if you're like a stage performer and there's like an audience there because you're actively performing for them. It's part of the give and take. It's the transaction. That makes sense. I'm not even in the room.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're Bumblecast fans and they're fans of your Bumblecast performance.
Maybe, but I don't know. It is very, very flattering, but it does remind me that if that is the expectation, if that is the level of hype, I have to deliver. And I try to remind myself that it's fleeting. It's great for now, but I will not always have that. I cannot bank on that. There will come a time, frighteningly soon, where you say Ian Flynn and the response is, who? So I enjoy it. I appreciate it. I savor it for the now, but I don't let it go to my head.
I don't think it'll be that soon. You're living rent free in a lot of people's heads, for good or for bad. I mean, I don't think it'll be anytime soon that we'll be forgetting Ian Flynn.
Well, frankly, I'll take a who over a him.
Well, at least they remember you.
Yeah. Not gonna post where I get buried.
Don't worry. They'll figure it out anyway. Doesn't matter. All right, question from OzJam. And these are spoilers for My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 3 to 5. So,
which thankfully I'm caught up on, so we can read this one.
Luckily, yes. Okay, good. In My Hero Academia, there was talk of a traitor in UA, with many theorizing it to be Toru, Invisible Girl. But turns out it was Aoyama, who was quirkless like Deku, but given a quirk from All for One, albeit due to his parents. With such a twist, at least when the chapter came out, it sparked a lot of mixed reactions. That said, what did you think of the reveal? Did it work for you? If not, who would you have picked? And as an aside, do you think Class 1A was too forgiving of him?
I had pegged Principal Nezu as the traitor just because gives off such worrisome vibes. I mean, his whole thing is, his quirk is he's, one, a mascot, and two, an evil genius. It's just he happens to run the school. So, I don't know. His whole, there has to be a traitor in our midst statement was like, he's saying the obvious so people don't suspect him. And then, like in the training session, when who was he terrorizing in the studies program? Anyway, he seemed to enjoy way too much all the chaos he was causing. So I thought it was going to be him, long-term reveal, but no, it was old navel gazer. I'm fine with the reveal. At some point I do want to read the manga and see how it's revealed and how it's dealt with, because in the anime it kind of feels like it's rushed through, and the parallel between him and Deku I feel like could have been explored significantly more. You already have the very big parallel between him and Bakugo, which is great and fine and all, but you have this immediate one-to-one of them both receiving powers from these iconic figures, and there's no time to dwell on it or look into it or explore it, and a lot of it's told in retrospect. So I wonder if the manga handled it a bit better. I don't know. The idea itself is fine. It doesn't really sway me one way or the other. It does kind of recontextualize some of the previous scenes, which is kind of neat. But I feel like the whole moment kind of just came and passed, and it was set in the middle of so much other big stuff. I don't know I question the placement a little bit. I don't have a better answer for it, but so it goes. As for the rest of Class 1A accepting him back, that's fine for me. That lands because they have already been through so much. And to a degree, they got through the catharsis of bringing somebody back into the fold by bringing Deku in. So knowing Ayama, And knowing who he is and what his deal was and the fact that he was clearly repentant, it makes sense to me that they would go, okay, everything else is kind of screwed up. The fact that he's yet another victim makes sense, and we have grown super tight-knit. So, yes, he needs to be saved. We're heroes. That's what we do. So, yeah, that landed fine for me.
Those were certainly words. I don't know what any of them mean, honestly. I read this question. I just read this question, but I don't know if I even said some of this stuff correctly. Like, I don't know.
You did fine.
I feel out of my element, Ian. Help me.
Might as well jump in now. It's wrapping up soon.
I mean, okay. Well, I guess I'll give it another 20 years, and that'll be when I finally do something about things. I'll always I don't know, always come into something a few decades late. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just be perpetually behind. And we got a question from Bile, like the intestinal fluid. Metal Sonic and Shadow seem to have a lot in common in regards to their backstories. This was briefly explored in the Archie comics, but it didn't seem to really get through to Metal. They also briefly worked together in Sonic Rivals 2 amicably. How would something like that play out nowadays? Would Shadow still harbor some sympathy for Metal Sonic due to their origins? If Shadow were to attempt to reform Metal, and he were successful, how would that play out?
I don't think that dynamic is available anymore.
That's sad.
And to say that they share a lot of similarities in their backgrounds, I don't know about that.
That's kind of pushing it, but I get it.
There are parallels you can be drawn, and I know because I drew them, but
yeah,
they're very different characters. And Shadow, as he is now, I don't think he would try to encourage Metal Sonic to find his own path, but he also wouldn't stand in his way. He's not going to go out of his way to confront Metal Sonic one way or the other, as long as Metal isn't doing anything to menace the general populace. And Metal Sonic doesn't really target anybody else. He's kind of got his laser focus on Sonic. So they just kind of coexist in the world.
Would the question is, would Shadow stop Metal if Metal tried to actually kill or do something terrible to Sonic?
Yes, he'd come out of nowhere, kick Metal in the head, stand over his crumpled body and go, I called dibs.
Okay, there we go. All right.
Oh, hey there, buddy. Thanks for the save. Shut up.
That's my kill, damn it.
Flanderizing for the joke. Save your comments for later.
Yes. We're just trying to be funny. It's not working, but we're trying, damn it. All right, here's one from Butter Noodles. How would you adapt the scrapped Sonic girlfriend Madonna into the mainline series? Only restriction is that she still has to be human.
Did what we did in Archie Sonic. Make her Madonna Topaz, a gun agent.
Heck yeah. Topaz was great. I miss Topaz.
The commander's handler for Team Dark, more or less, or his more approachable right hand, so we have someone a little more personable.
Yeah. Let's go. I'm ready. I am ready. All right, Chaos Sonic 1 has a question. A what if change in Worlds Collide? What if instead of the reboot of the Archie Sonic comics, Archie Mega Man, Archie Sonic, and for giggles, the what if Mario world that would have been made merge? How does it go?
Oh, a permanent merger of all three?
Sure, why not?
Oh my god, I'd hate that.
The licensing would be a nightmare, first of all.
I hadn't even considered that. Yeah, that would be...
the business side of things would be an absolute freaking... Ooh. Yeah, it's
a circus with all the clowns. No. it would be unworkable, but I would be just devastated because you can't really continue the pre-reboot Archie continuity that way. Uh-huh. You can't faithfully adapt Mega Man that way. And it's kind of hard to reconcile all the whimsical craziness of Mario with the sci-fi of Mega Man and the science fantasy of Sonic. You're mixing your raisins into your pasta salad. It's just, no.
This is Captain N, the new generation.
I mean, you could make it work, certainly. There's stories to be had. There's fun dynamics, pair-ups, mishmashes of the world. You could run with that for ages, but it would completely scuttle everything I had planned for Sonic and Mega Man, and in Mario's case, Mario. So I would hate it. I don't want it. It's fine that we didn't do that.
I mean, I guess you could do like, I don't know, some sort of amalgam universe sort of thing, but not like
You could make
get
it work.
rid of
You absolutely could.
Not
but-
get. I wouldn't say you get rid of the normal mainline comics for each one, the standalone comics. I don't know. All right, Comic the Hedgehog has a question. What if instead of being made from Black Arm's DNA, Shadow was made of sugar, spice, and everything nice, with maybe just a hint of Chemical X?
Well, he'd have to fit with the naming convention. Shadow, what would you be with a B name? Badass. All right, fair enough.
What would that design look like for Shadow?
I'd say larger eyes, but he already has pretty large eyes, doesn't he?
Yeah. Apparently the original name for the Powerpuff Girls was the Whoop-Ass Girls.
Well, there you go.
So that's
See, that's what you need for your modern adult take on the series. None of this navel-gazing, depressing live action. Just do another round of it, but call it Whoop-Ass Girls and, don't censor the violence as much.
Yeah.
The jokes they got away with back then, you get away with a lot more now.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot better. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the time that,
It's Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup, and Batman.
Because Professor Gerald added an extra ingredient, Chemical X. Now I want to see Mojo Jojo piloting an Eggmobile. Behold, I have outfitted this machine with a wrecking ball. A ball that is meant for wrecking. It will wreck things with the ball that is wrecking.
No, Shadow, don't hit the monkey destruction switch. Good stuff. All right, break time after this next question from Cool Christy 1. Dear Ian, what if I want to marry a nerd that likes comic books as much as you do? I've been reading them since I was a kid in high school. It's been 20 years of reading Sonic the Hedgehog comics. How do you like your job? This feels like two different questions, but you know what? Whatever.
Two different questions with a possible implication, and I'm sorry, I'm happily married.
Oh, man.
And how do I like my job? I like it just fine.
Someone else is asking if this person is trying to ask you, Ian, how you'd rizz up a girl.
Oh, don't ask me. I have no idea how I landed.
It just happened.
I stumbled into the perfect marriage, and I'm not going to question it, to be perfectly honest.
I think that goes for both of us. We just fell into our respective relationships. Like, I don't even know what happened. All of a sudden, I'm just here now. All right.
I mean, I will say this, if you're looking for someone who shares your interests, do the hard thing and engage with those groups.
Mm-hmm.
Meet people, which is the hardest thing for me to do, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And, it is very scary to open yourself up to other people, especially when it comes to your personal interests.
Oh, yeah.
But you need to take that leap. Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yep. Ian, how did you get married? By accident. Well, I guess your advice is open your heart, Ian, huh?
It'll be all right.
It'll be all right? Okay, good. I'm glad it'll be all right. Anyway, it'll be all right while we take a break, and we'll come back with more on the Bumblecast.
I got a gift from the dog from some idiots from when I did the ad read a couple of weeks ago. It's a bottle, and the label says, "The Stupid Juice from Episode 5. It's freaking back. The Corked Up White Boys returning season 2 of JCR 1216 is Some Idiots. Get ready for some idiot sweep. Make sure to vote in the streamies. Get ready for a new character who isn't totally a trade-off for some of the cast not returning, and that reason definitely isn't tied to a scheduling issue. New Brandon. replacing the old Brandon. It ain't the same Brandon as the old Brandon. And that's not the only guest appearance with planned. Get ready for Michael Woodyshack, a guy Josh started a podcast with but never got anything going after 2 episodes, and prominent Sonic Twitter celebrity Frankie the Eccentric. Watch the boys accidentally get high, start a hotline because Josh is lonely, and make fun of the least creative thing in the world, artificial intelligence. See Josh go to therapy and experience a very shocking season finale as there's one more season left. And a freaking movie somehow. Also, for 1 year anniversary, instead of paying $2.99 per month, now you can pay $3 per episode. That's right. Give Josh your money. We promise it isn't going to his console collection. New music? Check. New character? Check. More of that fantastic soundtrack? Heck yeah. Go watch the trailer for season 2 now. Fictional characters that people will fight over to ship? God, I hope not. Waffle Crisp! JCR1216 is some idiots rated TP14 for strong language, free violence, suggestive preferences, and portrayal of drugs. Bazangu by fellow gamers. We're back, and we're starting off with our weekly giveaway question. Follow us on our Twitter, Blue Sky, Tumblr, and Facebook to have a chance to get your question answered on the show for free. This week's winner is...
Dr. Obvious. If you were to write for a TF2-like Sonic game with the following characters, what sort of funny domination lines could you think of between them? Is the Scout would be Sonic, of course.
Let's see. So, Sonic is a scout dominating, Shadow is a sniper. Couldn't gas control that, could you?
All right, and the soldier, Knuckles.
Universal, and this is where the original gets it right the first time. If God had wanted you to live, he wouldn't have invented me.
That's a really good line. I love Soldier. All right, Pyro as Blaze.
They have listed Pyro as Blaze, and I know it's mean, but nominating Silver, which is listed as Demo Man, man, this is dark, but she'd say something like,
whoa, I didn't even know you got on me and that other person earlier for that one question, and you say that?
It's my show and my mistake to make.
All right, fine. Jeez, never heard such a language from you before. All right, Demo Man, Silver.
Dominating Sonic Scout. How deep in the weeds do I want to go on this one? I know what I want to say, but how niche? Never saw you in the future, and now we know why, huh?
Dang.
No, wait, sorry. He's the Demo Man. So, never saw you in the future, and now we know why, eh?
Okay. Silver with a Scottish accent. Great. All right, and the heavy is big. I mean, I guess that's a little on the nose, but...
Get behind me, Froggy! That's not a domination line.
No. And also, Froggy is not the medic.
No, but come on.
He just calls everybody Froggy.
Again, I think the universal one gets it right the first time. Cry some more! Cry some more.
That's a classic. It's true.
Some people can outsmart me. Maybe. I've yet to see someone outsmart Froggy.
All right, and Tails the engineer.
Honest to God, I want to hear Colleen read the entire Meet the Engineer skit as Tails.
Well, I mean, she already did the Lemons monologue.
Yeah, which
close.
Is also good. But
it's pretty close, but...
How am I supposed to stop some mean Mother Hubbard from ripping me a superfluous extraneous behind? She'd nail it. It'd be great.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't remember any of the engineer's domination lines, and I played him a lot, which kind of speaks to how well I played him, I guess.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm blanking on this one.
Oh, man. Well, what about Amy as the medic?
Oh, gosh. Shoot. I feel like I'm confusing some of his lines with the spies mocking him specifically. But we're not doing one for once, are we? We're inventing new stuff.
I mean, sure, yeah.
Right. I'm over confusing the thing. So roll
You're
back to
over-
Engineer Tails.
Okay.
Dominating Heavy Big. Why'd you give me such a large target?
And Amy Medic.
Dominating Soldier Knuckles. Looks like your ideal heart rate is 0.
All right. What about a Sniper Shadow?
I guess he has to counter
Sonic?
Scout Sonic. So let's see. I'm not even going to charge for that one.
And then finally, Spy Rouge.
Just because it's the only one that immediately springs to mind. Dominating Medic Amy. Just the derisive laughter of Medic!
Dang. Brutal. And of course, Dr. Eggman's the announcer, which I think works really well, actually. Reprising his role from Sonic Colors.
I imagine all the same dialogue, just angrier.
Which is amazing because the original announcer lady already sounds kind of angry.
Yeah, but it's that kind of low burn scathing. This is like actively insulted that you're there angry.
Actively insulted that he's having to do this.
The enemy's captured the intelligence, you idiot! Get on the point!
There you go. All right. I think we've spent enough time on that one. That's a fun one, though. Thank you for sending that one in, Dr. Obvious. All right. Moving on to this question here from Dawson the Dachshund. Let's be real. Everyone does it. It's just that no one admits it. So which Sonic character most frequently picks their nose?
I think you could make a case for Sonic. I mean, he's got that signature kind of nose itch thing.
Yeah.
And where there's smoke, there's fire.
And I guess by extension, that means Metal Sonic is also picking a winner.
What is there to pick?
I don't know. A winner.
I imagine Silver could be able to do it with his TK and never has to get his hands dirty.
Took a second, but that one got me. I would say Tangle.
Yeah. Bad habit.
Yeah. I mean, Surge definitely does.
Oh, in front of small children and old ladies that she can.
Say she has no. Yeah, she doesn't hold back. She just does it. Yeah.
And if they make eye contact and discourage her, she flicks it at them. So
yeah, there you go.
This is gross. Let's move on.
Moving on to this question from DDR Master M. Jewel hosts her own version of Hot Ones for the Sonicverse. What's it called, and how would interviews with Sonic, Amy, Tangle, and Silver go?
Welcome to Beetle Wings, the show with hot wings and even hotter questions. Sonic goes wing for wing, even does the last dab. He's fine. Amy gets through them all, starts to laugh about it about halfway through, is really starting to sweat by the last one, and she's angry by the last dab. Not at Jewel, just at life.
Yeah.
Tangle's upset because she's done this before. They've had wing night. Jewel knows what her limit is, and this is not it. But she's not going to back down from a challenge. Did Sonic do it? Sonic did the last step? Well, she's going to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
And she is maintaining eye contact the entire time. And tears are streaming down her face, and her tail is tying itself into knots. But she did it, doggone it. And Silver wonders why there isn't any heat to any of these.
Oh no! What's wrong with him?
Well, take your pick. Either his experience with the doomed future has made any kind of heat just non-existent to him, or eating all the trash in the ruined future has destroyed his taste buds, so he can't actually feel the heat at all.
Oh no! Oh, I feel bad either way.
Third option, he just tears through the wings before they even get to the questions. Oh my god, real food!
Real food! Feed!
Jill's like, so, spent some time in the future, have you?
We don't have food like this in the future.
Although I recognize this bottle, I'm pretty sure we use this as gas in the cars.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Poor Silver. We need to make that boy a good future. All right, question from Dewdrop. Boom Knuckles strolls into the aftermath of an Eggman battle and finds one survivor. Backed by popular demand, Nicole, the legally distinct Alexa. Bedazzled, he makes his own interpretations of wisdom like, someone is at the door, Sally. Remember Rotor's arthritis medication. And at the next intersection, turn left. Will Sonic and Amy recognize the bot? Is this strictly a mentor thing, or will Knuckles unknowingly play homewrecker? I have some ideas, but ball's in your court now, Mr. Flynn.
I vaguely remember Alexa Nicole.
Yes.
I don't remember it being a thing of evil.
No, I don't think it's supposed to be. I don't think it's evil. It's just, yeah, I guess, like, there's a Eggman battle, and the Freedom Fighters are there, and, like, I don't know, maybe something happens. Sally accidentally leaves Alexa behind for some reason, and Knuckles finds it.
That Boom Sally thought she was sentient, and everyone else realized it wasn't.
Yes.
That was the gag.
Although I think Knuckles did not.
Okay, well, that tracks. So, yeah, here he is, and, he's going to look after Nicole because Sally went back to, I don't know, her home planet, wherever she is. And,
she didn't die on the way back to her home planet.
I never said that. I said just went home.
Okay.
The planet of Acorn. Calm down.
Okay, I'm calming.
And he just he knows what it's like to be alone, and he wants to keep her company. So they hang out and they become besties. Have deep, meaningful conversations. She's so knowledgeable, after all. Anything he asks her, boom, she knows the answer. And eventually, the cast catches on and like, should we intervene? Should we tell him? And it's like, well, he hasn't broken anything in like a week, and he hasn't asked us to go cross training at 6 a.m. And actually, he hasn't bothered us at all. You know what?
Something's wrong.
Let him be.
Oh, that rascal Nicole. Question from Double L. There's a mimetic trend of people taking Surge and putting her in older Sonic memes, but saying the opposite of the original. In the spirit of those, what would be the best Surge version of exact opposite Sonic says be? Avoiding that specific one because duh.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think the that's no good one would still in fact be that's no good.
No, the inverse Surge says, "Here, kid, you want one?"
Yeah.
It tastes like candy. Go ahead, try. Nah, they ain't hot at all. Go ahead, put it against your skin.
Surge, please. Or maybe Surge, yes. Good. She's encouraging.
All right.
I'm glad she's encouraging Kit to smoke.
All right. So the smoke's a little too heavy on your lungs. I get it. It's not for everybody. But the real flavor is when you chew it up.
No! Don't do that. No! No.
Still don't like it? Here, try these unfiltered ones. The filtered ones make them taste funny sometimes.
No! Remember, kids, always swallow your chewing tobacco. No. Kit would encourage calling 911 when it's not a real emergency. We know that. Surge would absolutely do that.
Keeps them on their toes. You don't want to be bored, do you?
They need the practice.
Don't you like fire trucks? You can see it up close.
Oh, boy. No. All right. Question from Dove. So, some magical shenanigans have happened. Due to a dark spell that was cast, Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Mercury have swapped a Surge and Kit. How does this go for the duo? How do the other Senshi handle their new friends? What happens when it reverts back? Do Surge and Kit miss it?
Surge is going to bully the ever-loving crap out of Usagi.
Oh. And Usagi's going to beat the crap out of her.
Eventually, yes. But not for, like, most of the episode.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone only passingly familiar with Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Do they get their magical transformations?
Of course they do.
All right.
What is this?
I don't think Surge is too fond of the skirt, but she is going to make fun of Kit for it. Not out of any kind of gender inequality thing, just to make fun of Kit. Like, let's be specific about that.
Well, I mean, she'll make fun of Kit regardless. It doesn't matter. It's what she does.
It doesn't matter. He could be wearing a tux for all it matters. But speaking of tux, she's absolutely going to electrocute Tuxedo Mask on sight.
I mean...
He didn't even do anything. I hate his hat.
I mean, you know...
But between the two of them, whatever monster du jour they face is going to be dead before the Moon Prism power can activate. And when they go home, yeah, Surge is going to be a little put out. She's not going to admit it.
No, especially not to Kit.
No. But, you know, the girls actually did try to make her feel welcomed as a stranger in a strange world, very different. And you know, that was kind of nice. And, you know, they got to use some serious violence. The other ones didn't hold back either.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
And there was
not like she cares.
And there was no Sonic there.
This is true.
Yeah.
Just Tuxedo Nux.
Why is it Tuxedo Nux?
Because I like saying that. That's a funny joke.
Okay, fine.
Absolutely missed the last time around. Anyway.
Oh.
No. That's what they missed. Instead of Tuxedo Mask, it should have been Nuxedo Mask.
Nuxedo Mask. Yeah.
I knew something wasn't about that right.
Yeah, they kind of screwed up the name of his name, but you know, it was still pretty funny. It was still a good joke. Still a good gag.
And now I have a question for you, Kyle.
Oh boy.
This one comes from Emmy. Hi, Kyle. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Mr. Co-host. You've spent dozens, if not hundreds of episodes answering questions with Mr. Flynn here about Sonic lore, but what Sonic story is your favorite? Can be from the games, the comics, the shows, anything.
Well, you know, I have a soft spot for the original Death Egg saga between Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles. I'm old, so, you know, there's not much to it, but I don't know, there's just something about it that's like, it sparks the imagination, you know?
It does. It's elegant in its simplicity.
Yes, it really does. And it was a good framework for which to build on the rest of the franchise, basically. If we're talking Ian's work, I still stand by Champions. The Archie Sonic arc Champions is freaking great. And I still very much enjoy Spark of Life, Aaliyah Baker's Sonic Universe story arc from back in the day. That was also great. You know, it's simplistic and maybe not, you know, 100% perfect as it is. I feel like Sad AM still holds up overall.
It does, surprisingly so.
There's a lot more depth and nuance and interesting stuff going on there that I think is really surprisingly there's a reason why the show and the characters and everything have so much staying power. And yeah, as far as I've talked about like modern game stories. I got a soft spot for like SA1's story a little bit. It's another kind of simple one, but there's something about it. It's kind of interesting to get a little bit of the history of the world and, you know, learn about like, you know, the origin of Knuckles and the Echidnas and, you know, get some lore about Chaos and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I think that just about covers it. Oh, and Murder of Sonic. I mean, come on. That's a freaking... That's outstanding. Like, I would really love to see, like, legitimately love to see more Sonic visual novel games. Those have so much potential. And there's so much fun to be had with just all these characters, I think, and their interactions with each other. And, you know, we have the comics for that, too, and that's always fun. I think having some visual novel style games with Sonic characters would also be really cool. So, yeah. And Geo Knuckles has a question. I read both Knuckles and Tommy from Power Rangers have dark versions from alternate futures. Dark Enerjack and Lord Drakon from Power Rangers Unlimited Comics. What do you think?
Yep, it is a common trope.
Yes.
I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah, it's kind of surprised. I did play the little bit of that Power Rangers fighting game Battle for the Grid, I want to say it's called. I mean, I was kind of surprised. Not only did they have Evil Tommy, but they actually got Jason David Frank to do the voice for him, and I thought that was pretty cool. So, I don't know. Kind of neat. And here's one from Hearts 13. James Woods as Mimic the Octopus. James Woods is no stranger to voicing cartoon villains. As Hades in Disney's Hercules, he had the charm and charisma of a real estate agent and the short temper of a big corporate CEO. As Owlman in Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, he was basically a nihilistic, misanthropic philosopher variant of Batman. How do you think he would have handled the character of a traitorous sociopathic mercenary who looks out for number one? And I do refer to Mimic.
I could see it.
Sure.
A kind of snide, bitter, reserved delivery. I could hear it.
Yeah, makes sense. Now I'm just imagining Mimic with fiery blue hair. Hero Squad has a question. Babysitting time! And Sonic, Shadow, Silver, Amy, and Surge are tasked to take care of one baby individually. No help between them. How does it go?
Sonic does just fine.
He
didn't nearly drop the baby off a cliff. No, he didn't take it into an active badnik battle. What are you talking about? See, the baby's fine.
Sonic does all the just leaves enough to get paid.
All the leaves and twigs in the bassinet. Strong gust of wind from somewhere.
From somewhere.
Silver, does he have no idea how to raise a baby, or does he do it all the time because the horrible future was full of orphans? No matter what, that kid's the safest thing on the planet.
Yeah. Good point.
If something remotely threatens that baby, ooh, you got a full wallop of TK in the face.
Yeah.
Amy, absolutely. Great maternal instincts. Gonna be a great babysitter. Fun, but also attentive. Yeah, they're fine. Shadow?
Okay. I think Shadow would be surprisingly competent at it.
Yeah, you know, he would.
He has to take care of a baby better than Sonic would, so.
Like, absolutely on the clock with every feeding and burping and changing and whatever, like clockwork. And similarly to Silver, if anything remotely comes within passing aggressiveness towards this baby,
yes,
they're gone. Surge, maybe you have to contextualize it as Sonic did just fine. In fact, people said he was a great babysitter, just to make sure that she tries.
So, she would at least raise the baby to hate Sonic, right? I mean,
well, yeah.
You gotta teach Sonic.
If you leave her completely to her own devices, she's gonna look at this baby and go, "You want one?"
No, Surge, no.
Crying again. I'll give you something to cry about.
And of course, these are all clones of the Walrus Lady's "My Baby" from Sonic Boom, because of course they are. Surge, you can't tattoo a baby.
Why not? People pierce their ears all the time. Coddle this thing.
No. My baby. All right, Hydrix has a question. Perfect Chaos, Final Hazard, Metal Overlord, and Devil Doom all share the same roar. Wow, I was worried this was going to be all walk into a bar. Luckily, that's not the direction they went. Now, with Final Hazard and Metal Overlord, it makes sense, since they're artificially created with Perfect Chaos's DNA. However, Devil Doom isn't artificial. The Black Arms also look strikingly like Chaos when in incubation. They share a similar life cycle, and Dark Chaos Chao even looks similar to Black Doom. Why do the Black Arms have this strange connection to the Chao?
I see the dots you're trying to connect. I'm thinking that's more happenstance than intentional, but who knows? Maybe there shall be some surprise reveal one day.
I'm kind of wondering if they're just, reusing the same sound effects, because It's easier
Oh
to
yeah, the
just
sound effect is just canned. Yeah.
Yeah, it's reusing the same sound effect because it's a lot easier and cheaper to just reuse the same sound effect instead of coming up with another one. But, that's the reality of it. But, why in
Monster
universe
Roar
do they
3.
sound the same? And question from JCR1216. Silver decides to become a country boy and starts creating country music. When he asks to team up with, in different universes, Whisper, Tangle, Blaze, and Espio, what goes down?
You missed one.
Surge. Sorry. Whisper, Tangle, Blaze, Surge, and Espio. What goes down?
Whisper declines. She's not a singer. Blaze politely declines. She's not a singer. Espio declines. He doesn't sing country. He sings only traditional Japanese folk music. Thank you. Good day. Surge laughs mockingly.
Uh-huh.
Which, granted, is her response to just about everything he said today, but, specifically.
Yeah.
And Tangle just perks up. I thought you'd never ask. And they go on tour.
Yeah. I mean, traditional Japanese music is a form of rural / country music of the Japanese country, not of, American country, but still.
I will not sing Yee-Haw, but I will sing Sakura.
You know what? It's a nice crossover. And finally, last question is from King Tails. Amy notices Tails has been more agitated lately. Sonic dismisses it until Tails went and caught a bird in his mouth. They pry the bird free, and a doctor reveals that Tails has a rare illness causing him to behave like a normal fox for 2 weeks a year. Repressing the behavior only aggravates it. The treatment is to embrace his instincts and hunt live prey during this time. How does the Sonic cast plus Tangle react? How good is Tails at hunting? Would Sonic keep an eye on him during hunts? This is a fan idea, but this would never happen.
It might be simpler to ask what happened if Tails just got swapped with Mangy out of Prime, but
I mean,
everyone's a trifle disturbed, and they feel bad for him because, he's embarrassed by it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all chip in and they help him build the enclosure that he needs for his, 2-week excursion.
Mm-hmm.
And Eggman gets this weird call from Sonic going, so, hey, how do you go about catching flickies on the regular?
He goes flicky hunting, yeah.
I just need a 2-week supply. Hook a buddy up? How did you get this number? What are you talking about?
How did you get this number? He asks, knowing full well exactly how he got that number.
Like, I can just come over to your house and ask. All right, no. I'll send you a supply. You sounded awfully nervous. Are you doing anything evil over there? No. How do you already have a supply of birds? I'm hanging up now.
Thought he always had a supply of birds. That was just
Sage, Mom, Honey Boo Boo, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give your birds away. Sonic needs them for something. Will the birds be all right, Father? I don't know. I didn't ask.
Will the birds be all right? Sage can tell if they've been swapped.
Also, I have to say this. This question came from King Tails. Does that mean he has supreme executive power?
And on that note, it's time to end the Bumblecast.
Thank you to everyone who submitted their questions via patreon.com/bumblecast, ko-fi.com/bumblecast, and our YouTube members. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the Bumblecast.
Boo this man. Boo.
Why y'all booing? You know I'm right.
That's why we're booing.
And there's your thumbnail for the episode. This Flicky on a tree branch looking terrified as Tails flies up behind it going...
Dang it, that's a good one too. There's lots of good thumbnails on this episode. Why are there so many good thumbnails for the Bumblecast? We need more than one thumbnail. I think we could do that apparently now, but that seems kind of...
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't want to give Noni and Nova more work.
I don't see the point either because the show comes out so rapidly and consumption is so breakneck that nobody's going to come back to look for multiple thumbnails.
Yeah, well, apparently it's like random who sees which thumbnail. which is like I guess it's some sort of like, A/B testing. Like you can decide which thumbnail works better for your video, which is kind of like, no, no. I think this question is cursed. It's nothing. We've gotten worse on this episode. Kazzy, you can see my thoughts and they're all farts? Yeah, I know. They are all farts. I know that. Anyway, hi Ian.
Hi Kyle.
Yes. Alright, ready?
Yep.
You've been listening to the Bumblecast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org.
Oh, busy.
Yep. Yepper dupper. I was working on NGI right before we started. I looked up and it was 10 minutes to go, and I'm like, well, shit. Well, shit. Okay. Anything you're working on that you can talk about, or is it all super secret? Or is it
super secret?
Or is it just other crap going on that's not even work related?
Both.
Oh, okay.
But it's a lot of work all at once. As a matter of fact, as soon as we finish recording, I have a few minutes to like stretch my legs, and then I got to go into another work meeting. So my phone is going off. Too bad.
Well, if they have so many meetings, you're never gonna actually get any work done. You keep all these meetings, and it's like, well, when am I gonna
about the work that was done?
When am I actually gonna be able to work on it without having to freaking sit here and talk about it?